how an average salary goer can achieve that 10 crore number by 40?
I think, Sonia, very honestly, you need a mixture of good education and a little bit of luck. Now, why do I say a little bit of luck? Because investing is actually a mixture of mathematics and practicality. I can give you a lot of numbers around how do you end up achieving this number, right? But practically, you will actually need discipline to be able to reach that number. And at the same time, you will have to make sure that you don't want to compromise on your standard of living. Because unfortunately, what has happened, at least over the last 4 or 5 years, everybody is talking about investing. But you don't want to be in a stage where all you are doing is investing and not living your life. So maintaining that fine balance is going to be a tough task, right? So let's cover both. Let's cover mathematics and let's cover the emotional side of it. Or what will you really need to compromise on for you to be able to reach that number?
Okay, so first I wanted to ask you, if you have, like in today's day and age, right? If you're a 25-year-old and you have plans, so you want to get married, you want to have kids, you want to buy a house, etc. What is that ideal number that you would need by the time you're 40?
I think because I have been able to do what the title of the show is, I think for somebody who's ambitious, that's a good number.
10 crores.
10 crore is a very good number, and I think it's predominantly achievable in my opinion. Because if you look at a 25-year-old, and if you are educated, you have, let's say, a 2 lakh rupee salary to start with, I think this number is doable. So there is a very simple rule that I follow, and I've been doing it for a long time, which is the 30-30-40 rule. What it typically does is tells you that 30% of your income should be the maximum expense that you would want to do, right? 30% is the maximum EMI burden that you want to take on your head, right? And the remaining 40 can get invested. If you can do this in probably 180 months or 15 years, you can actually achieve financial independence. So let's say if we talk about this 2 lakh individual, right? So we are saying 60,000 is the monthly expense, which is 30%.
So let me just reframe the question. Sure. If someone is earning, say, between 1 and 2 lakhs per month, right? And they want to achieve financial independence, how do they do it?
So I think it's exactly the same what I just said. I think if you follow the 30-30-40 rule, in 15 years or 180 months, you will be able to achieve financial independence. What I mean by that is, let's say if you have a 2 lakh rupee salary, you put 30% of your salary as the maximum expense that you will do in a month. 30% as the maximum EMI that you will have. And the remaining 40% is what you end up investing. And if you are able to do that for 180 months, which is 15 years, at a mere 12%, you will actually be able to achieve financial independence, right? And
so when you say financial independence, you mean you can achieve that 10 crore figure, or that you won't reach that by?
No, you won't reach the 10 crore number, right? For 10 crore, your salary has to be slightly higher for this 30-30-40 to actually make you reach the 10 crore number.
But which you would assume, right? Given that every year you would get an increment, but then the other angle in this is also lifestyle creep and certain, life decisions that you make, whether it's buying a house, paying the EMI, children's education and all of that. So
there are so many of these things that will be a part of your ongoing discussion for you to decide whether what to put more priority on, right? But if I can just randomly throw some numbers so that it's slightly more clear for the audience who's hearing us. So let's say I was talking about the 2 lakh salary number, right? Yeah. So if you divide the 30-30-40 rule in the 2 lakh salary, so you are saying 30%, which is 60,000, is the maximum expense that you want to do. 60,000, which is another 30%, is the maximum EMI that you want to have. And 40,000, which is 40%, which is 80,000, is what you want to invest, right? Now, let's say if 80,000 is what you start investing every month, and assume that you are topping up the salary by 10% each year. The SIP by 10% each year, which means next year your SIP will become 88,000, right? So on and so forth. What typically happens is in 15 years, even at a 12% assumption, you will reach close to 7.5 crore,
Okay.
right? Of course, we are talking about somebody who's drawing 2 lakhs.
Yeah.
We are talking
And
about
somebody who can take out 80,000 rupees per month, which is like a very, very small portion of the population.
absolutely. Now, which is why I said you have to be slightly lucky along with the math working in your favor. Why lucky? Lucky can be on 2 fronts. First, let's say if you are staying with your parents or you have a house and you don't need the EMIs. If you are in such a situation, then doing an 80,000 or a lakh will not really be a problem, I'm assuming.
Correct.
Right? Or let's say if you are decently educated, then your career path grows much faster than the normal average Indian career path will grow at, right? So you will be able to do a much higher incremental investment over a period of time, which is going to make your journey to reach the 10 crore much easier and much faster. So it's a fine balance between mathematics, how much can you practically do, and how lucky are you, whether do you have a house, do you need to buy a house, or how fast your career grows. And which is why I keep telling a lot of people that I interact with that if you really want to invest, first invest in education. Because if you really want to be able to create wealth, right, it is only going to happen if your investable surplus, how much can you invest every month, is very high, plus you are able to generate higher returns. Now, what is not in your control is you are not in control of being able to generate higher returns. What is actually in your control is to be able to have a higher disposable investment each month or each year. So if at all your career does well, right, you will have this higher disposable investment that you can do each month. And because you can't control return, all you really want to control is to be able to invest higher each month or each year, and the number that you are trying to achieve will become easier, right? So if your career is doing very well, and if that's your focus area, automatically your investable surplus will increase, and hence the number that you are looking at investing will become much easier, versus trying to do the undoable is try and generate higher returns. A lot of people, unfortunately, over the last 4 or 5 years has started focusing on trying to generate higher returns, learning finance,
Trying to trade.
trying to make this a career, right? Whereas you actually want to focus on what your
Skill set is, so you can
skill set
earn more
is.
money and invest it.
Yes. So focus on trying to invest more money than trying to create higher returns.
Correct. That's a very, very interesting point.